And I know there's a lot of stuff going down. First things first. You know, my thoughts do go out to mediocre tutorial and reviews. I'm as sure you all know. Y'all know the announcement he made. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the most qualified person to speak on that because I haven't been through a situation like that. So, I definitely wanted to mention it, but I just wanted to say that. I mean, so shout out to him, and yeah, that's tough. That really is. But but with that being said, I'm gonna transition into what I want to talk about. Well, not what I want to talk about, but what I'm going to talk about, which is what the title of the video is. And shout out to O'Shea. Like I said, I respect O'Shea. I respect what he's done. I respect the work he puts in. I understand why he positions his videos the way that he positions it. And the video he recently did, not even a couple minutes ago, the one talking about Adele and Rich Paul, is going to be what the inspiration of this video is. This isn't really, so, well, you call it a response, but this is just me kind of adding on, me doing my struggle stream and giving my opinion on it. I know I was talking to Obsidian on Facebook, and he it was some question he was asking me, and then I told him, I said, that's why you, BGS, and them, I'll leave you all to be authorities. And I put O'Shea in that category too. I'm just a nigga talking shit. And he was like, really, that's what you want to be considered? And I'm like, hell yeah. I don't really care about being seen as an authority in this space. I've never been interested in that. Not in this space. I say what I say, I mean what I say. People can either take it or leave it for whatever reason they want to leave it. Because we were talking about something when it comes to statistics. Because I said something about, a lot of women being kind of like a Brittany Renner being narcissistic. And then, Obsidian wanted to talk about, well, that can't be proven. And I'm like, yo, you sit here and you try to prove that, while I'm going to sit here and act on what I see. And I think too many act on what I see. And I wanted to bring that up because when I was listening to O'Shea, and I listened to the whole video, and I made sure I listened to the whole video, but the video's about pretty much, O'Shea doing a celebrity junk, and he's talking about Rich Paul and Adele. Apparently, it's getting a little bit more serious, and I invite you to go see that video and get the feel of that. But that's what it basically is. And it's talking about really interracial dating and why it's happening or it's increasing, and black men are why they're exercising their options. And the video sounded like literally a 10-minute apology. Literally from start to finish, it's a 10-minute apology. As if, I'm sorry for where we are, but we are where we are, and that's what that is. And yeah, and the thing about it is, that's a problem. The fact that O'Shea has to do that is a problem. I understand why O'Shea is doing it. These celebrity junks are designed to work the YouTube algorithm. They're designed to bring viewers, to attract viewers, to attract people that will hear some of his other, all his content's quality, but the more, the content has more, foundation behind it. And obviously these celebrity junks do a good job at introducing him to, people that might not see him, because they really do a good job at playing that role. That's me on the outside looking in. I don't know his intentions behind them, but I know that's the role that they do serve, as helping to build his channel and then get an audience. And that audience is not always going to be black men, even spoken from a perspective of black men. So it's always given. So the videos, from what I see, are done in a way that is designed to tell the truth as it needs to be told, but at the same time, not be unnecessarily antagonistic. There's no point turning people off if you don't compromise what you think and compromise what your opinion is. Then why be flamboyant about, why be flamboyant about what you got to say, to the point? Why be unnecessary? When I'm going to say flamboyant, I mean unnecessarily antagonistic. This is one of the complaints a lot of you all were kind of having with Obsidian with that interview. And you got to understand, people have a business to run. And so you have to account for that. And I account for that. And I don't sit there and look for every little thing they say as a representative as to who they are, because their track record is their track record. I'm not trying to put them in the same position, but I'm kind of tying it together. So, but yeah, it sounded like an apology. And it's not about critiquing O'Shea for doing that. It's about, the problem is the fact that we are where we are in the black community, that has to be done. That you can't just say what you mean. And I'm also thinking about Kevin Samuel's 2 videos where he was talking about the one where people are calling him gay, and he's doing a video where people are, basically saying he hates black women. And a woman made a really good point in the comment section saying, I don't know anybody that has a father that like Kevin is very much in line with how people that have fathers would talk. All of this, like, you know, is, I haven't listened to a lot of, I listen to there's a TikTok channel that brings up Tom Leykis' clips, kind of like Kevin Samuel's clips. And, I've got a chance to really go through some of the Tom Leykis' greatest hits, some of the calls that people called in. Obviously, he has an incredible amount of work. But, that stuff was all the way in the 90s. And he's mainly communicating with white females. And a lot of it is the same shit. Now, obviously, it doesn't necessarily come from the spirit that it comes from in our community, because it's not necessarily history. But you have females, basically not. When it comes to the shit like the tonality and bullshit, all that shit is literally word for word. I think what you say is vulgar. I don't like your tone. It's the same shit. And what you realize is when people are saying shit like that, what they mean is they don't have a logical argument. And he would address it in a very, well, what did I say? What did I say that made you mad? What did I say that was vulgar? What did I say that was, whatever they said, it was what it is. And they would literally say, and I'm talking about men would say this, some dudes would say this too. Oh, well, it's your overall tone. And I'll share that so you all can check it out. But it'll be like, it's your overall tone. And so really what they're essentially saying is, it's how I feel about what you're saying. Damn the logic of it. And what is the point of this video? The point of this video is really to articulate the title. The title is, I have an aunt that suffers from mental illness. She'll actually be coming back to my mom's house soon. Probably Monday. They've got kind of the last thing with it, and let's just say that's a cycle, a very predictable cycle as to how that turns out. My mom is, getting mad, stressing me out, because her sister's stressing her out, and, the world turns. But, it's one of those things where you come to realize this person is institutionalized, and this person is never going to get well. They're never going to get well. Never going to be what it's not happening. It's not in the cards. It's not in the cards. And so at this point, the objective is to make this person feel comfortable. To make them feel comfortable. Versus you talking to someone with the intent of getting well, of getting back to normal, of improving, of whatever, treatment. And this is not me trying to tie this into mediocre. It just happens that that's kind of how it's sounding, but that's not what the intention is. The goal, and this, whether it's how you view the world, whatever outcomes you want to have, quality of life outcomes, as you say, quality of life is health, money, relationships, time, freedom, whatever, to improve whatever you have, because everybody, has the potential to improve what they want. You're not a procrastinator. You procrastinate, and you could stop doing that with work or with whatever. You're not a black, you're not just hate black men. You just hate them right now. And it would work. This is why Kevin is always talking about therapy, because a lot of these women really need it. And a lot of this hatred of black men is really a manifestation of mental illness. It really is. I would say it's very undiagnosed. I would say it's soft mental illness. I call it cultural mental illness. I'm not a professional. I'm just a nigga running my mouth. So you can take with that what you will. But if you look at how hating black men affects outcomes, we're not talking about indifference. We're talking about raw hatred. How that affects outcomes. how that manifests in motherfuckers eating and all that. It's really hating black men is really an outgrowth. It's really a manifestation of self-hatred, which is what I say, which is something deeper. These are just my thoughts. The point is, when you're making this is not me telling O'Shea how to make videos either, by the way, but what I'm saying is what I tend to hear with these conversations with interracial dating is this apology, because it's unwillingness for black women to basically accept what is happening, or not accepting but acknowledge what is happening, so adjust. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say women are dating men that make a certain level of money. Now, if you are doing everything you can to talk about how money doesn't matter, I've heard Jason Black talk about this. The money doesn't matter, Negroes. The Negroes, they want to make it all about game and not about your ability to stand up as a man and do all this. Yes, we know women get pussy. We know all of that. Dudes get pussy. We get all that. What I'm saying is the best women are generally going to go with dudes with the best money. You just live in a community where your women are fucking stupid and they have a control complex. And this is why they tend to be sexually attracted to dudes that are compromised. Which is why which makes your community backwards. Which is why in your community, you're not really pressed with this as much as other groups would be, right? But whatever, you tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself in order to create the reality you want to be true, which is money really doesn't matter. I could get 9 cents at will at everything. Money just doesn't matter. And you just refuse to accept that. Well, if you refuse to even accept that or acknowledge it, then you're never going to ask the next question, which is, how do I make money? How do I increase my income? How do I change this thing? Let me say something that hits close to home. Fuck that. Actually, let me reverse this. So you niggas, I know how you niggas are. Let's say you all believe that sexual ability doesn't matter. You have black men that believe that sexual ability does not matter when it comes to getting women, and all I really got to do is have game or do this or do whatever. Well, we already know if you're dealing with women, American women in general, that's going to create a certain outcome. It's not generally going to be to your liking. Now, if you don't acknowledge that, you never ask the question, which is, how do I increase my sexual ability? Your brain doesn't process that. It never asks that question, because that's how your brain asks questions. You have to acknowledge something for it to move to the next step. Otherwise, it gets stuck. I know this personally because of procrastination. Right? And this is why a lot of people get stuck. And people that are helping you stay stuck because they want to tell you what you want to. It's not so much tell you what you want to hear. They don't want to tell you the reality in the way you may need to hear it. Some people, like if you're playing sports or you're playing football and you're in practice, coaches operate a certain way because it gets results. And men understand that. And coaches, that women that play sports understand too, to a certain extent, that if they're getting the results, there's going to be there's going to be an outcome. Now, usually you filter these people out because these people are cut. Everybody can't be on the team, so obviously that only goes so far because these people are already qualified. But you get what I'm saying. The thing about it is, what does this have to do with like coaching versus mental illness? So are we basically talking to women, black women, basically saying that African American women are already washed? And so basically this is a message to pro-blacks. What the objective really is to make them feel comfortable, to make money off of them as they transition into their later years, and as they basically get phased out and be a permanent. They will be the women of the permanent underclass. Meaning these are not women for the most part you take seriously. These are women that basically you have sex with and that's it. These are the women that are meant to be single mothers, not baby mom, not marriage material. That's what they're going to be known for, because to be fair, other groups are doing this to a certain extent too, and this is rising across the board. But they're also basically very much so helping black women become the face of this, because that benefits them to getting the best mates. See, so are we basically helping them, basically ushering them, transitioning them into that status as a permanent status? Or is the intention actually for them to change? Is the intention actually for black women to improve their image? For black women to actually be able to compete? Now, ultimately, that's up to black women. There's nothing that black men can really do other than be very clear as to what black men are doing. And to a certain extent, O'Shea's video is very successful in communicating that. Coach would say it helps black women feel sorry for themselves. It helps people feel, you don't go nowhere feeling sorry for yourself. Not black women. He didn't say black women, but he said anybody. You don't go anywhere feeling sorry for yourself. And part of the thought pattern or the internal dialogue or narrative that black women have as a collective group is this dialogue of they are a victim of everything. Nothing, because and they do that because that's part of them not being accountable. And when I say accountable, I mean accountable to their own outcomes. Because the truth is, nobody gives a fuck. Even pro-blacks. Pro-blacks may be a bleeding heart when it comes to black women, but ultimately pro-blacks are not really helping black women. Pro-blacks are not really helping black women create better outcomes. All they're doing is pretty much the same thing the pastor's doing, which is basically making them feel comfortable being washed. That's it. Now, in their mind, they think they're helping. It's kind of like when you have an intervention and you have to remove the person that's an enabler, because the person that's an enabler is not going to help the person that you're trying to do an intervention for get well, because they're too busy coddling people. They're too busy coddling that person, so they become actually an obstacle to that person getting well. That's not what I'm saying for O'Shea, but I'm just saying the mentality that a lot of pro-blacks have. So, look, people saying over and over 30 different times, I love black women, I'm only going to date black women, black women, black women, black women, black women, everything. I prefer being one with people. That's not changing anything for them. That's not helping them. That's not changing anything. That's not modifying anything. The reality is an increasingly number of black men don't feel that way. And you're getting to the point, next generation, the millennial, because, O'Shea's more of a top millennial, versus these zillennials. They don't give a fuck. And the truth is, the millennials are not going to lie to these zillennials. And you see it in these zillennial women. You see what they're up against. And nobody's telling them the truth. The truth is, the last 2 generations of your women completely fucked you, and you're going to have to pay a debt. The alphas and the zillennials are going to have to pay a debt. That's assuming the black community can be saved, which, honestly, that's a big assumption, and it just won't be absorbed. So jumping over that leap, there's a debt that's going to be paid, and it's not about me saying that they should pay it. It's about trust. You can't just trust. It's just like fossil fuels. Once you run out of it, that's it. Ain't no process to recreate it, because that took carbon, pressure, and millions of years. Little parts fossil, little part carbon, little part pressure. Over 1,000 years, it created the fossil fuels that you have. And there is no, we're not going to be able to, magic our way out of it. You better use a different alternative form of energy. That's the only other option. There is nothing else. It's the same thing with trust. Trust is not a renewable resource. And trust is a resource that takes a long time to renew. And trust is a resource that takes a long time. It just does. And it didn't. And the trust did not get fucked over or used up in a day or in a generation. It took multiple generations to get to where we are. And I've heard Jason Black talk like this. I've heard Professor Black Truth talk like this. I've heard O'Shea talk like this. I've heard Obsidian talk like this. And this is not really about him. I'm about O'Shea. I'm just using this video as kind of a jumping off point. When you look at the Umars and people that kind of jump into the spirit of kind of what I'm talking about, coddling black women is not going to help their outcomes. Now, granted, like I said before in the beginning of the video, people have businesses to run. And that is a calculation. Obviously, I'm not making that kind of money in YouTube. So I'm here to tell somebody how to do their business, make their videos. I'm talking, down here from a perspective of just the outcomes of the situation, not necessarily me complaining about a video. But a lot of dudes, they really believe that they're helping black women doing this shit. You're not. You're helping black women like Dr. Sleep used to help those people and help them go to sleep to transition That's all you're doing. And I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna. Folks need to stop deluding themselves because you got a lot of dudes that legit think they're protecting black women by doing this shit. Like dudes on the ground that they believe that they are helping black women. First of all, black women, well, I just feel so bad. What are you looking at that's making you feel bad? Well, social media. Well, bitch, get off of social media. Why do you use social media to tell you who the fuck you are? Why are you that fucking fragile? Motherfuckers are looking at social media, reality TV, and mainstream music and like shit, like for real. And this is supposed to be the most educated group doing this now. And by the way, like David Carroll says, I don't measure black women by the ones at the bottom. I measure black women by the ones at the top. And the ones at the top ain't really nothing to really, admire too much anyway, either. Because they are basically influenced by hood rat culture. And that's the thing nobody really likes to talk about. But whatever. Shout out to the lead attorney. Lead attorney, I ain't gonna lie, lead attorney, you made me laugh, man. I'm sitting there, you sit there and you drug that shit on with Lauren. And then he's like, yeah, you know what she said? We were talking to this dude, he set up the story, we was about to get a punchline, and I was like, what did she say? And then he basically said that Lauren didn't claim him or put her foot down on that dude's ass for him putting her on the spot. Which I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely an option. That was an option for her to do that. But I was like, I get why you would be annoyed, so I'm not gonna say somebody would be forgiven for saying you're being petty, but you know what, man? You are what I think, 43, 44-year-old, like 20-year attorney, very successful guy, 6'3", yeah, you got a right to be petty. Motherfuckers ain't got no time to be playing. But if that would have been somebody that, but I definitely can understand why somebody would say that. Because I was like, man, I thought she said something bigger. But trust me, I know that feeling. Like I said, Jessica X has since come, shout out to her. She super chatted and everything, but I told her how I thought too. I know the feeling when you mad and you just gotta let it out. Not mad, but you just gotta, bottling shit up ain't always healthy either, especially when something really annoys you. And women need to know, like, for real, that shit ain't no victimless crime. Oh, well, because when they feel some type of way, they gonna let your ass know. Oh, I didn't know that part of the story. With lead attorney, I didn't know that. Okay, then I changed my mind. Because I was jumping in and out of what you said. Yeah, if he was in prison for years, nah. And nah, well then, yeah, you're right. I would have felt some type of way too. But hey, that's the black community. What that should tell you, lead, is that should tell you that even in good women like Lauren, the bullshit still exists. So if you got to struggle, if you got to compete if you're a 20-year, and divorce attorneys make bank. I would say the only people that probably make more money in divorce attorneys probably, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say like corporate lawyers, maybe like on average. And then I believe the way you got your own practice, so I know you're getting paid off of that, or you were getting paid off of that. So, just like Chris Rock said, a white dentist could be on par with Chris Rock being considered one of the best comedians in the modern era. It's the same thing with you. As a black man, you ain't no better than a prison dude. All that did, and the fact that came out of Lauren, all that did was prove everything we talk about. It may be seen as like a joking, playful thing, but dang. No, nothing happened with me and Jessica X. You remember when I was annoyed about being left on hold for like 45 minutes, and then you thought I was kind of low key talking about you, but I said I understood that you were new to YouTube, and I could kind of get the feeling on that. So I didn't really sweat it, but you thought I was talking to you because I brought you up went out of my way to say it wasn't you and all that. No, that it was that, and it's not. It is what it is. But my point is, I understand when something is on your heart, you gotta put it out there, man. And even and the same thing, because she was in my chat and I said something then, same thing like you said something. I mean, you're a little bit more upfront, but yeah. I gotta tell you, lead attorney, now that you're in here though, I haven't heard not one single thing good about this Karen Civil chick. I haven't. I haven't been looking a lot into it, but I haven't heard not one good thing about her. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even going to lie. And there's a great episode of American Greed that talks about a black female that was basically hustling a lot of these like ball players, and some of them you would know their names. I got to get that season, that episode, because this like literally I think my favorite episode of American Greed, and I like that show. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. So a lot of times pro-blacks sit here and it's like they think they're protecting black women. You're not protecting black women from the truth, because the truth is this shit is ran by a guy by the name of Darwin. And Darwin doesn't give a fuck. Darwin doesn't give a fuck about racism. Darwin doesn't give a fuck about your story. Darwin doesn't give a fuck if you're a woman. Darwin gives no fucks. If you don't know, I mean Darwinism. Social Darwinism. Relationship Darwinism, the survival of the fittest, all's fair in love and war. And fact of the matter is, nobody cares. Ultimately, white women do not give no fucks about black women or what black women go through. Like some of them may feel guilty, but they get over that real quick if it's something they want. Latin women don't feel guilty at all for the most part about black women. When it comes to a man that they want, there is no such thing as your dick. Every man is up for grabs. Now they may believe their men are their men, but when it comes to your men are up for grabs. And these will be the same women that'll be caping for a lot. The only time you really see these women go against, like black women go against these women, is when they're upset that these women are dating a dude, and usually black men bear the brunt of that. And the reality is, as more dudes are falling out of making six figures, making decent money, as the cities get more expensive, as the great shout out to Glenn and Cameron about the Great Reset, and a lot of white men have been fucked over, the middle class has been decimated. My point is, there's less men that can make the money, and then there's less like economics for these women. Bitch ain't making six figures like people like the front. These women are going to maintain that lifestyle, or they're not going to say, oh, well, those are their men. They don't think like that. And black women know this. So dudes just tell them Dennis Brothers, you're not helping them. And so I listen to some of these things and I think, okay, are you all just making them feel comfortable because you know they're washed? You know they're washed. You know they're not going to hear shit. They want to play the I want to go all natural bullshit. Well, let's give you something this treatment that may help. No, I'm a Scientologist. I don't believe in none of that shit. I want to go all natural. Okay, well, at this point, we're just making this person feel comfortable because they want to be on the dumbass shit. And some black women are smart. Some black women find religion and they peel off. But most of them, they reinforce themselves into, women's empowerment, the church, the pro-black shit. They go through these different, stages. Hebrew Israelite. They start fucking other women, start getting into these polyamorous relationships over the Hotepery incense bullshit. Whatever coping mechanism, that they use. Eating, having bastard kids, something to love them unconditionally. Black women don't get cats and dogs. They just have babies. Black women don't get cats and dogs. They just have babies. Just so y'all know, I meant what I said. They get tired of the kids, but we know how that works. And everybody is, and then folks think you're help. Just like when black women say niggas ain't shit. You think you're gonna get a nigga to not be shit by telling him he ain't shit all the time? You think you having anger towards men and hating men, but you still fucking men, is gonna stop men from doing what they already doing? You think the nigga you fucking is gonna do anything different because you upset? You think the niggas you not fucking is gonna do anything different because you upset? And the thing is, it's like if we're here to basically make women feel good while they transition out and basically go into full on permanent wash status, then it is what it is. Let Darwin handle it. But if we're actually here because we're actually trying to, have a real conversation and actually let them know what it is, because men are not coming, because this is the thing, black men are not coming off what the fuck we're doing. Black men are getting worse, not better. Black men are not coming, black men are going, like, especially as the general society is like, okay, somebody needs to deal with these women, and it's getting less and less caring about the interracial shit, because I'm not here to promote interracialism. I'm here to say that people are going to pick the best option. If you want somebody, you need to be their best option, period. Black men need to earn black women, and black women need to earn black men. But the reality is, where black women fuck up is black women actually still are in this disbelief that other races of women actually want black men. They still are in this shock where they can't believe it. They cannot think about it. Adele was literally dating a dude that he was in the scene, but Adele was completely dating down compared to what her level is in the music industry. And then she moved up. And the thing is, these women are not caring what y'all think. And it becomes the same internal commentary as to why. But remember what I told y'all with women asking dumbass questions. Why do black men do this or do that? Well, you all really don't give a shit about the answer, so why ask the question? Anyway, Will I.R. Hotel pro blacks are caring for 8 black women like nurse aid giving hospice care to dying patient. It is about letting folks die. It is about letting folks live out their last days with some dignity, which ADO's culture. Yeah, and shout out to the $10 Will I.R. And the thing is, black men delude themselves in thinking you're helping black women. You're actually not helping black women by doing this. And that's kind of the thing with my video too. And I'm not saying, this is not about O'Shea. I'm talking about anybody that kind of does. This is why Jason Black kind of does the both ways shit. Like dudes, like a lot of dudes on the, you're not helping them by doing this. You're not helping. Like when Q Butter backs up Cynthia G, you're not helping black women. You're not. And these dudes really legit be thinking they're helping black women or they're protecting black women. I'm like, no, you're not. You're doing what you're doing for. It's like you're doing what you're doing to make you feel good. And so a lot of folks, and this is where, like I said, this is why I'm not really, this isn't about O'Shea, because O'Shea does not do this. O'Shea doesn't wag his finger at other black men for what black men are doing, because he gets it. But you got a lot of pro-blacks, like Umar and them, that will wag their fucking finger at other blacks. And they'll call themselves taking up for black women. And all of this stuff is very selfish in nature. It's very selfish, it's very self-serving. Yeah, there is a lot of noise. Don't worry about that. Shit. It's very self-serving. Yeah, the lead attorney, well, hopefully I'm pretty sure the lead attorney will be real close to 100K by the end of the year. Only the lead, see, yeah. That chick that said marriage was a sport, I gotta make a meme about that shit. I saw her on there again. I'm sure the lead attorney was like, yeah, why cuss her out? She's gonna be the gift to keep on giving. Only a black woman got to think about between a guy that came out of prison and a successful attorney, who's the better dude. The problem is Lauren has a really endearing face, So we can't put her up there. If you're gonna make a meme about that, we gotta have a different black female. Maybe the chick that said marriage was a sport. Yeah, she has that look. Somebody to be on the bullshit. Yeah, there is a lot of noise. Don't worry about that. I got an issue with my lock. No, absolutely. Rich Paul wasn't gonna be fucking with no goddamn Adele. Hold on. Y'all saying it's a lot of noise. Hold on, let me take here. Rich Paul wasn't gonna fuck with no fat Adele. Are you? I mean, but Rich Paul. But the thing, yeah, Rich Paul. But see, Adele was getting that other dude, that low level dude, when she was up there. But the point is, you know, you get the point. But you're not wrong by saying that. But the point is, you know, women are gonna be out here and competing. And this is not about promoting shit, but people want to be in this delusion. You said her reputation. A lead attorney, whose reputation? Whose reputation? I don't think I mean, her reputation. Yeah, you know, I don't know if you talk about Jessica X or who, but damn, prison. Motherfuckers in a high value man conversation. Motherfuckers in prison. I'm trying to kind of go up in the chat to see what y'all talking about. Well, I mean, that's why, like, again, and the only reason when people talk about is, okay, yeah, Karen Civil, yeah, man, like from what I've understood, people, she's been pissing people off for a while. It's just because she's a black woman. Like, let's keep this all the way 100. Motherfuckers don't really like to just put the vice grips on black women, you know. Motherfuckers, you know, black men are real fucking forgiving. And truth be told, and one woman said this in the chat, and not in the chat, but in a video by a guy by the name of Carcino. He does good work as far as like really getting this information out here. He was playing a video, and this woman said that if Karen Civil would have did better customer service, and at least made him feel like his money was being put to good use, even without showing any receipts, that motherfucker would have been cool. But the reality is that motherfucker was desperate. And so she got so bold with her shit. She didn't even manage these niggas at all. And it's interesting because when lead attorney was talking about, well, you get away with this for years. Well, a lot of people understand you can't just be completely ghosting people. Like, you got to give them a conversation, at least initially, because that way, you know, they'll give you more time. But if you start ghosting people, then people are going to start, you know, their alarm bell's going to get up. And she just didn't do that. And you picked the right one where you're dealing with somebody that really needed the outcome. Now, to go on to Joyner Lucas, like this dude had an angel investor that gave him literally $500,000. Anybody that invests $500,000 in somebody's music career is a fucking moron, in my opinion. Whether that's a male or a female, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And this is what's crazy is people will talk about like biz ops and shit and how that shit's a scam. But shit like this happens all the time. Like, literally, the music industry is a scam cottage industry, especially in the underground markets. But nobody likes to talk about that because that's just accepted. But whatever. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, sorry about that, lead. I'm like mixing my stuff up. Even I trip my own stuff up. But yeah, nobody has nothing positive to say about her. And quite frankly, she's benefiting from from the reputation, I guess, helping Nipsey Hussle's stuff really get out there and, well, really help. So everybody thinks that she can just duplicate that, which that's not how social media marketing works. That's not how that shit works. But yeah, God, man, that shit usually doesn't make that sound like that. But yeah, man, lead attorney's doing good work, man. Yeah, shout out to Chicago Rilla that was on there as well. Oh man, don't get me started with that Amber Rose bullshit. Don't get me started with that Amber Rose. Let me transition out a little bit to what I'm talking about. So, for those of y'all that don't know, on the Lead Attorney's channel, Chicago Rilla and them brought up how on the Lapeef channel, one of these niggas, I think his name was E King or something, one of the guest one stars folks was saying that Amber Rose like is wifey, and I'm like, and lead attorney said it great. Amber Rose had like a period of maybe 6 months when she was legit, but let's keep this all the way fucking 100. Amber Rose was never, ever, 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 ever like a Melissa Ford, of what is it, Vita Guerrera. Like when you look at the women that used to be in Smooth magazine, like those old, these are women that that naturally had it. These women are not that. And a lot of this shit is like post, Nicki Minaj. Because Nicki Minaj came in the gate with a fake ass and all that. So that shit just became accepted. And yeah, they were never that. Esther Baxter, they were never that. Now we're gonna talk about like wifey, like women that can have the ideal image of that. I brought up Maya, Kelly Rowland, the most street chick that probably could have, the most streetish chick that could have occupied that space was probably Monica. But even Monica's demonstrated to have problems. Nia Long, basically the girl, well, Maya's not considered a girl next door, but you get one, like, so when people look at Amber Rose was a stripper. Any dude that says a stripper is wife material, nigga, I'm sorry. You're not qualified to have the conversation. You're just not. You're part of the problem. And I would have told him that to his face. I would have made it very clear. You mean Amber Rose, the stripper since she was 16 years old? That Amber Rose. I guess you're somebody that thinks Cardi B is a wife material as well. Yeah, man, she look good. Nigga, it don't matter how she looks. It doesn't matter how she looks. There's a difference between wanting to have sex with someone and wanting to commit and create a family around somebody. And you see what Amber Rose, you see the results of Amber Rose. And I'm like, nigga, I understand you want to hit. He'd be one of them niggas that would pay Amber Rose probably like 20 grand or 25,000 to fuck. Because he seemed to be real imprinted to her. Now, I don't know what he said with Anton's wife. I don't know what that was about. But just on that, and you got a lot of dudes like that. Because a lot of these dudes came, the 2010s was like this transition to where it became acceptable to look at strippers as like legit girlfriends. And the problem is, again, this goes back to my theory that black men don't know the difference between a good black woman and a bad black woman. They don't understand the difference. They don't. And that's important because if you don't understand the difference between a good black woman and a bad black woman, how can you protect women? How can you protect black women if you don't understand black women that are on the team versus black women that are not? Because protection is not an infinite resource. Because she was light skinned with Maya. But Maya was probably the most feminine communicated in the 90s that was black. See, Beyonce was quiet. Before Beyonce actually blew up. People forget that. When Beyonce was in like the Case music video, she had a very quiet, quote unquote, aura. I hate to use the word energy because that's what the bitches use. But aura. Shout out to Smurgle for the $5. Just because she was a stripper, that don't make her a bad person. Strippers can make excellent wives if they weren't turned out by the game. Yeah, of course you would say that. Of course you would say that, Smurgo. Anyway, let me go through some of my. Let's see if I got any cash apps. My bad. Shout out to Lion for the $5 cash app. I don't know if Smargo's being serious or he's trolling. I'm really not sure. I don't know, because that sounds like some shit Smargo would say. Yeah, they do mix up. Shout out to Kevin Lugman. They do mix up lust and love. And this is why a lot of these Negroes, that they be, oh man. See, one thing is, you can say what you want to about dudes that trick or dudes that are open to escorts and shit. They know the difference between a fucking a bitch you pay and a bitch you actually keep. They know the difference. A lot of you niggas, y'all be in love with the divine feminine, and any woman that occupies that basically has a pussy, y'all just imprint this bullshit, which I don't understand why y'all do that. Man, what the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah, Beyonce has said, big man, the Fisher says her alter ego, Sasha Fierce. Absolutely. And I think Sasha Fierce is based on her sister. I think that's what she models that after. But yeah, that's not, I mean, you see it in her interviews, you see it in her personality. You see it if you look at before she really popped off. And Kelly Rowland's not that much different. Yeah, Amber Rose is concubine, but she be like the first concubine. But see, the problem is, and if you look at the type of dudes that she was with, I mean, Kanye is kind of unstable. And then Wiz Khalifa, well, that's that equally yoked shit. And Wiz Khalifa got tired of her ass. And the thing is, a lot of y'all are in lust, which is why I tell y'all need to travel. Because y'all gotta understand that there's beautiful women, like y'all just y'all just gotta understand that the world is bigger than that. And a lot of y'all ain't never left your fucking county, so y'all don't know. Even I don't give a fuck if you're in somewhere like Atlanta, where all the fat ass. No, because the truth is, Atlanta, most of them bitches don't look normal. Most of them females look the same. That's why when Lita Turner, it was one dude talking about, yeah, I moved to Atlanta. I was like, damn, you moved to the belly of the beast, didn't you? Y'all niggas really be going to Atlanta to restart. Atlanta, I don't give a fuck. Atlanta is not the city to be restarting, in my opinion. That shit is literally the capital of the gynocracy, Atlanta. Not really. Amber Rose does not look as good as she used to. Amber Rose has hit the wall. But see, when y'all say bad to y'all is when I put my dick in her. That's bad. That's what bad means to y'all. Ugh. What the fuck? So y'all be like, yeah, man, she bad. Some of y'all probably think Black China is still bad. Chloe Bailey, Haley Bailey, Lori Harvey. Who are the other bitches? We'll throw Normani in there. Like, compare these hoes to those bitches. Because say what you want to about all of them, all those females actually come with how they look. They're not plasticed up. You got that chick Jilly who's trying to create a social media career too. That's why I don't like the language that niggas use. She bad. It's the language of fucking high school. Like, she bad, she a baddie. All that shit means is you fuck. That don't mean shit. That shit has no meaning. That's why nobody takes that seriously when it comes out of black men's mouth. Because they understand all that means that's the language of thirst. She bad, she a baddie. Ooh, she's a baddie. That's bitch language. I hate using that. You're either attractive or not attractive. Fuck that. She a bad, because you're pedestalizing these chicks. Ooh, she a baddie. No. Just because you want to fuck don't make her no baddie. Amber Rose, for the period of 6 months, occupied that status. Once she put that tattoo on her head, because the thing about Amber Rose is Amber Rose, I can tell you right now, if you look at Amber Rose in real life without makeup, that bitch is washed. I can tell you that right now. What y'all are seeing is glam photos. And dudes have this internal monologue. She a baddie, she a baddie. Y'all gotta stop doing that. That shit's supposed to be reserved for exclusive people. Y'all throw that shit out way too much. Which is why every bitch thinks they could have $100,000 a year dude. They actually think that shit is normal. You know, that motherfucker about to get at their ass. He did do right with Rose. And what did Kanye say? I had to be in the shower for like days. She didn't like that shit. Jason Derulo's baby mom is not a 10. She's an 8. She is not a 10. She is an 8. And a lot of y'all 10s, when motherfuckers say somebody's a 10, what that pretty much says is if you got with her, that be the best female you ever got. That's what that means when I hear a no, she's not a 10. If she was a 10, she wouldn't be getting dumped like Jason Derulo is not the first person to drop her ass off. So that should tell you something right there. When you a dude is at the level, understand something. Do you really believe that Jason Derulo has not fucked better looking women? And Jason Derulo ain't even like, I like some of Jason Derulo's songs, but he ain't even like the most known motherfucker out there. I might give you an 8.5. I would give you that. I'm still holding to 8. Y'all be giving these bitches the light skin up plus, surplus. Brittany Renner is a fucking... Brittany Renner's really a 6. The thing about Brittany Renner is she's light skinned with an ass. But Brittany Renner, without makeup and shit, is really not all that. Her face really ain't all that without makeup. So you have to account for that too. A lot of these chicks, and I'm sorry, I hate to say that, but y'all be giving them light skin points. Brittany Renner is not all that. She is very overrated. The thing with Brittany Renner is Brittany Renner knows how to project sexual charisma around niggas that got a lot of money and they're used to getting what they want. That's what Brittany Renner's good at. But Brittany Renner, if you really line Brittany Renner up against Lori Harvey, Chloe Bailey, she really ain't all that. The thing about it is Brittany Renner seems like the most likely to be down to fuck. She gives this aura of probably having crazy sexual skills, which is why dudes in their mind create a lust thing. I mean, is she really thick? She thick like a white girl. But, you know. Yeah, when a lot of these, there's a reason why the original thoughts never talked. There's a reason why when they did those little 60-second or 10-second videos on Instagram, why they never opened their mouth, because when they open their mouth, their stock free falls. Every time they talk, it free falls. They go into what I call the hoe zone. Well, Brittany Renner's not smarter than a dumb, like those niggas are dumb. That doesn't make her smart. She just knows how to pick her targets. Like 80% of sales is knowing how to qualify your buyers. She's very good at qualifying. And she's pragmatic enough to understand that dudes, like, she knows where her value is going to be seen at. But honestly, the fact that she had to get a dude that young tells you that, quite frankly, that tells you where she's at. When you got to go that young, when you're 27, Because remember that shit with Janae? When Janae talked about that? Not that young, but they were like 21 and shit. When you're a female and you gotta date younger like that communicates your value. That means you really ain't got value like that. So you gotta deal with somebody that's really green. And no, it's not the same thing in reverse. That's not what it is in reverse. Because women come with sexual, so if you have sexual marketplace value and you still have to do that, usually that means your personality is like beyond trash. That usually means you're hard to tolerate. Shout out to Big Mag the Fisher. Thank you, Brittany Renner. Without makeup is typical Queens, New York chick. I see every day. You're absolutely right. And a lot of dudes, because that's the best bitch. That's the best bitch y'all would ever have. And I'm not trying to say shit, but I'm just saying that's how y'all feel. Poverty. But yeah, and that's another thing too. Y'all niggas are not helping these women when y'all are always saying, "Oh, you a baddie, you bad, you a baddie." And I get the young dudes doing that, but like once you out north of 30, man, get the fuck out of here, man. They're attractive, not attractive. There's attractive, there's not attractive, there's attractive. There is, you get butterflies, and that's reserved for like because the connection is there, and then women that really look good where they can elicit that, and that's not just a photo, that's also the aura that they have around them. A lot of women don't have sexual charisma either. They know how to look apart, but you get around them. Like Aisha Curry does not have sexual charisma, but a lot of y'all imprint on that shit. Flip said it's only a few You're right. And that's why I know the mentality it's coming from when a lot of niggas, that's why I said niggas, there's not a lot of light-skinned bitches. So when niggas get it, they go overboard. And women will say they value light. It's not so much dudes value light skin. It's just, it's not a commodity like that. And light-skinned dudes don't tend to operate that way. Because we see light-skinned bitches all the time. No, not if I had money. If I had money, first of all, let me be very clear here, Smurgo. I don't care how good a woman looks. There is no woman that is worth going on child support for. Any nigga that's on that, yeah, man, I'm gonna have her have my baby. Niggas used to say that about Nicki Minaj. That shit's weird to me. Yeah, nigga, I want to fuck her so much, I just gotta nut it. Fine, if you want nut in a bitch, but I just need her to have my baby. I just need her to have my baby. There's a lot of niggas that low-key, I know you trolling, but there's a lot of niggas that be low-key thinking that way, especially in the South. Niggas, oh yeah, man, I'm a high baby. And there needs to be some of the niggas complaining about child support. No, bitch, and trust me, I've dated some very attractive, man, without makeup, Kelly Rowland looks better than Beyonce. I remember the first time I ever got introduced to Nicki Minaj. Yeah, man, I want to have her baby. I want her to have my baby. I mean, I heard multiple niggas saying that. I said, I mean, she alright, but that ass ain't hers. And I know what she looked like before she got that ass. I'm like, you niggas are like, get a passport. Fuck. You niggas are like really going goof troop over what? Remember, the best that bitch can do. Remember who she dated. Safari, Kenneth Petty, Safari, Meek Mill was the best Nicki Minaj could do. That should tell you everything you need to know. I need me a red bone. Oh, I want a yellow bone. Like, man, why are you all like pedestalizing these hoes like that? Never understood that. Well, I mean, I can't really truly speak to for Atlanta, but I whatever. All I know is the way the bitches act in Atlanta is on some other shit. That's all I know. Black women don't act like it's a guy to girl to guy ratio imbalance. They act like every nigga makes 100,000. Fantastic do that. Yeah. I need me a red bone, this stick, da da da. I'm like, nigga, shit. Y'all think y'all and fucking out of the military. Black people do the same thing with bad, like people do with swagger. Black people ruin everything. Y'all assign shit to shit it don't belong to. Oh, he got swag, he got swag, he got swag. That's why motherfuckers don't like selling shit. That's why that white dude that had Chris Stahl said that racist shit. He was like, yo, I'm really tired of these Negroes buying my shit. I'm gonna find a way to get y'all up from up under my shit. You know what? Fuck these niggers. He said, yeah, I said it. What? And then Jay-Z thought he was doing something by turning away from Cristal. He was like, he don't give a fuck about that. That was the objective. You gonna start seeing that with Michael Kors. As soon as they get tired of y'all buying their shit, they gonna start talking racist because they know the rappers are gonna respond. Because then y'all really gonna look goofy as hell if you don't. And then motherfuckers gonna stop buying it. And they do that to protect their perceived value. A lot of y'all aren't hip to that. A lot of y'all are not hip to that shit. Got bitches naming their kids Mercedes. You know, shit like that. I'm like, you materialistic pieces. Oh my God. Ugh. She bad. She a baddie. She bad. She bad. She bad. I'm like, motherfucker, this some shit. Fucking, once you get like north of 25, you shouldn't be using that terminology no more. A lot of niggas didn't like when Kevin Samuels said you too old to be wearing streetwear unless you in the hip hop industry. It was a lot of dudes that didn't like that shit. Man, it don't matter. You can wear that at any age. I'm like, yeah, niggas like you would think that. Anyway, fuck. They had Jason Black. Jason Black had like 6,300 followers talking that, you know, he gonna make money off that 980, that 80s, 980s bullshit. Shout out to Xanatos Clutch. Yeah, swag. Y'all niggerite. Like, that's what my mentor used to say. And he was out of the nation. He used to say his dad, he's like, about to niggerize his restaurant. Oh my God. Shout out to Michael Roth for the $10 super sticker. Jordan's 300. You don't gotta wear a suit, man. You ain't gotta wear a suit. Nigga, ain't nobody see. And the fact that, see, and that's what dudes do. Dudes go to the extreme. The fact that the first thing you thought of was a suit says a lot. These guys, Georgia Boy says these guys can have a fat ass. These guys can have a fat ass and big titties. Slim, pretty women still be attractive at 50. Man, the problem is most of these niggas aren't getting women with fat ass and big titties. They're getting bitches with fat ass, big titties, and a big stomach. That's where a lot of black men like lie to themselves on purpose. Y'all are lying. I'm in the South, Georgia boy. I'm in North Carolina. Yeah, y'all niggas like the Anton and his Jordan collection. Y'all niggas really think y'all doing something. Nigga, like I know like trader shops for shoes up the street. And I may do a live stream for one day. Motherfuckers, they most expensive shoes is $3,000 for some Yeezys. Y'all niggas really be doing that shit. But see, I'm a scammer, but people are scammers if they trying to get you into a business. But y'all will wait to do that shit. But hey, to each his own. I'm not here to judge. Cars forget how much black men used to dress up and wear buttoned ups. Absolutely. And I wouldn't say North Carolina is the red bone capital. I'm in Raleigh. But I may need to assess that just to be sure. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I consider y'all obsession with fat women to be a mental illness. I'm not even gonna front. I see that as a disorder. Well, a lot of folks think sales is a scam. And you know what I find funny? I find that the same people that will say something is a scam is the same people that be actively participating in scams. Honestly, I don't even look at black. I don't even separate black women by like red bones, yellow. I don't even do that. Like to me, that's always been weird. Like if anything, if you want to categorize black women, you need to categorize them like Glendon did based on their personality type. The Southern Belle, the Savage, the Valley Girl. That's how you need to categorize them by the software. Kind of like Mac. Where they got Mac OS and Monterey coming out. They got Big Sur, Catalina, Mojave. That's how I do it. Y'all be categorizing women based on skin tone. And then that to me that's stupid. Because y'all really act like because the truth is with me, I don't really have a preference for skin tone. There's advantages to both. Darker tone skin women tend to age better. There's advantages to both. I don't think that way. But a lot of y'all be real. Y'all got these little like fetishes. Niggas do it with the snow. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get me a snow bunny. I don't do that. I don't separate women that like that way. Italians are not the same as Irish, which is not the same as being, like it's, but that's how my mind works. I am a fan of the octane system, but the octane system is class based. The octane system is not based on personality type, it's based on class and social movement. So the octane system is required to understand. But also what Glendon said, because I really need to get him to get this series again. It's like how to date a black girl. And he basically broke it down in like the 5 personality types that black women have. So I think I would add that in there as well. But most dudes don't really look at black women from that perspective. They look at black women based on red bone, yellow bone, light skin, dark skin, baddie. Every bitch is a baddie for some reason. Yeah, he got rid of his disruptive male. Niggas be like, I want a red bone. I want a red bone. PBP got cats like, yeah, man, that Omni cat, like, man, yo, that's crazy, yo. These niggas like Omni the Hellcat, like these niggas be like, it's like, yo, you really thought that as a black man they was gonna let y'all get away with this shit? And that's why a lot of them niggas be 980s because only 980s dudes will really be believing that they gonna make that kind of money and not be tracked. I don't care what nobody say. Women getting Brazilian butt lifts, that's a sign of laziness. I'll be the Hellcat was an idiot. Like, cause what all these niggas got in common is they're flexing on social media doing real crime. Like, nigga, you did that copyright shit, and yes, 30 years is actually insane. What they usually do is say you gotta pay all that money back, and maybe they give them like 5, depending on how much money he can pay back. That nigga is getting they trying to Wesley Snipes his ass. They're making an example of him. And we know how it is in this country. They're gonna do that. Cause they really trying to, as more content is online, they're trying to scare people into not doing that. I'm not gonna lie, I be getting letters from AT&T saying, like they be tracking this shit. Yeah, and that's really what it is. A lot of y'all be fetishizing these women, and then y'all put up. This is why is this important? I don't care about how the bitches feel. This is why you all put up with shit y'all shouldn't be putting up with, because y'all assign value where there is no value. There is no value getting a red bone bitch. See, that's the type of shit motherfuckers say when the only thing you really fucking with is black. So then y'all gotta make that shit sound exotic. So, oh man, she not a black woman. She a red bone. I'm like, nigga, what? And I'm not trying to say there's no such thing as exotic black woman, but it's like y'all are trying to make shit be more than what it is. Nigga, I only like red bones. Da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, y'all need whatever. Anyway, all right, y'all. This has been a great stream. I appreciate it. Let me see if there's any last cash apps. No, we good. All right, yeah. So, hmm. So with that being said, appreciate y'all. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.